My name is Daniel, and this is my perception of reality. So the battle has never been more clearer, and my perception has changed as I've learned to remove those shackles and chains and learn to look up and just live. So I'm seeing the world with a whole nother view, with a whole nother set of eyes, you see, because I pray constantly, Lord, give me a vision for you. Give me a vision of a truth that I have not known and a truth that I have not learned to share, because I need you to step into the depths of my soul and purify me as your eyes as they look to and fro. I would rather believe in a gospel that never changes than believe in a lying heart that resides inside of me. So my perception of reality has drastically changed from the years ago when I used to be a man, or I considered myself to be a man that learned how to stand, and I called myself self-made, not realizing that not even today, that day that I live has been promised to me, nor has it been created by my hands. So my perception of reality has changed drastically, as a matter of fact, you see, because nobody that used to know me now can recognize me, because my life has changed so drastically. So you can see in the words that I speak, in the way in which I carry myself, that I'm not the man that I was even a year ago. And I look at how much progress God has made in my life as I pursue after Him, and I realize this, that the greatest way that I can change my perception of life is to continuously surrender my life and my heart unto Christ and allow Him to work so inwardly in me that the world outwardly can see that I no longer see through a glass darkly. But as I continue to yield myself unto God and I battle against this flesh that seeks to destroy me and to choke my inner man to death, I begin to see and to perceive the world with a different perception and a different worldview. So you see, I'm no longer standing where I used to. And I'm no longer using the speech and the vernacular in which I used to speak. So as a matter of fact, I know a lot of people hate the fact that I use the gifts that have been given unto me. But I know this to be a fact, that if I don't use these gifts, I would be in lack. I would be robbing the world of the gift that God has been given unto me to give unto them, so that they can learn to see how much glory He desires to get out of a vessel that will yield unto Him. So excuse me. And I make no excuses for the change in my perception or the use of the gifts that God has given unto me. Because I would rather use these gifts to change the perceptions of the world, so they would see that there is a living God and there is a living Christ who resides in me, so that they would begin to pursue Him on a level that has not been seen in an entire generation. So forever after Him, I will be personally chasing. So yes, my perception has changed, and I've removed those chains on my perceivability of the things that I once used to see as nonchalant. And now people see the fire as it brews forth and it spews forth from my heart. From in my belly there flows rivers of living water. I guess that's why I cannot even stop, even if I try. I feel that fire and that passion of God burning inside, like the prophet Isaiah said. It's like fire shut up in my bones, and I just can't keep quiet. So though my perception has changed, I am still a man that is seeking after the heart of God, and will forever be seeking after Him until I can see Him and the blindness are removed from my eyes, and I learn to see the glory of God, and I learn to just bask in His glory as He tells me the story of the hidden mysteries of the universes, you see, because I'm no longer the man that I used to be. And the world around me can no longer perceive me how they used to see, because I've been set free. And those chains that I used to allow to bind my perception, my perceivability of the world that surrounds me, it used to choke me to death. It was like stones chained to my hands and feet, and it kept me bound to the point where I could no longer hear the sounds of the gospel of Jesus.Christ. He began to speak into my life from the moment of my youth. So I was raised in the church, and though I departed a long time ago, God somehow saw fit in His infinite wisdom and forgiveness to pull me back to Him. And now for Him I live and I breathe, and my heart does beat. So my perception of life has completely changed, you see, and you can hear it in the words that I speak. So my perception, it isn't what it used to be. 7 years strong, and I'm going to keep running on until I see Him in glory. So I know this for some should be the end of my story, but I'm not worried about them, because one day my ultimate aim is to see Him in glory. Because one day, my ultimate aim is to bask in the everlasting presence of the Father, with which my eyes have not even been able to perceive or to imagine in my own imagination. So forever, after his heart I will be chasing. And my perception, he will constantly be changing as he perfects his faithfulness in me. So my perception of life has changed, you see. And maybe that's why I no longer walk the way that I used to, and the world can't even perceive me the same way that they used to. Because I am a creature made new through the birth and the resurrection. Through the life and the death of Jesus Christ, I have been brought back to life, reborn again, no longer the man convicted or convinced that I will remain in sin, but in fact I am enticed no longer by the things that I used to chase after in the form of life, but instead I am now forever going to be chasing after the Lord Jesus Christ until I see him in glory and he changes my perception for all eternity, and I can see him as he is in all of his glory. My name is Daniel. Thank you for watching. Pray this has been a blessing to you, and may the Lord keep you and may he bless you.